Hi, welcome to my real estate video blog. And in today's episode, I'm here with Jeff Thorp, a licensed real estate inspector here in Central Texas, somebody we use quite frequently. And we're going to be talking about the topic of what to do if your pipes burst with the coming freeze here in Central Texas. All right, so we're here with Jeff Thorp, a licensed home inspector here in the greater Austin area. We've used Jeff hundreds of times over the last 5 to 10 years. And Jeff helps us not only when we're representing buyers in the purchase of a home, do the inspection to make sure that they find out about any unforeseen issues. He also helps us when we get a listing and we're marketing a home for sale, kind of figuring out what's wrong with the home prior to putting it on the market, because that's one of the biggest deal killers. So anyways, the topic of the video today is what to do if your pipes burst. And for any of you watching this video, we've got some freezing cold weather coming to the Austin area. So Jeff, let's say my pipes burst at my house. Like, what do I do? I've got water spilling everywhere. What's your recommendation?
Well, Chris, we want to turn off the water. That's
okay.
Going to be first and foremost. In most of our houses in the Austin area, you guys will find a property owner cutoff valve adjacent to the water meter. The water meter is going to be usually located near the street or near the sidewalk. Your water meter manhole cover will be about this big, and usually there will be a smaller metal or plastic cover about this big around near the water meter. If you remove that cover, you should find a small hand valve. They'll look two different ways typically. They'll either look like a hose bib handle, a circular dial handle, or we will have some different valves that have basically a flat blade of metal that can be turned 90 degrees to shut the water off.
Okay, so if my pipes burst, run outside.
Turn the water off.
And you're saying there's a smaller cap next to the big one.
Yes.
And I reach down there, turn the handle, it shuts my water off.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Cool. So what are some things we can do to prevent this from happening? What can I do to prevent my pipes from freezing?
Well, freeze protection is a must. We don't get a lot of cold temperatures down here, but with the wind blowing, those hose bibs can freeze over. Once we have something that's frozen that water, it'll expand, and that's what causes our pipe leakage.
Okay.
So some of the best things we can do are to insulate our hose bibs. If we have really cold temperatures, it's not going to hurt to let a faucet drip. That'll keep water flowing through the pipe and prevent it from freezing over completely.
Got it.
The other thing with these holidays, a lot of us will go out of town. We turn our heaters off, but let's leave them on. We don't need the house to be toasty and warm, but we do need to keep some heat inside to prevent freezing.
What temperature would you recommend to leave the house at if you're going to go out of town for the holidays for 1 to 2 weeks?
55 would be absolutely sufficient.
Okay, 55.
A little higher will sometimes keep the humidity down in the house. Me personally, I don't like to let my house go below 60, but 55 would certainly be reasonable.
Okay. And what else? Any other things we can do to prevent the pipes from freezing?
Well, one of the things with our more modern homes, we're running a lot of our water lines through the attics these days. We've started using PEX piping, the plasticized piping, and with those in the attic, what we do to typically insulate them, if they're in a place where they can be covered with the ceiling insulation, that will provide the insulation for this piping. Some of the things that can change, though, from when the builder installed all that insulation over your piping would be installation of additional security systems. Also, sometimes if we've had people run cable wiring through our attics, they may have gone up and disturbed our insulation. If that insulation's been disturbed and we can see either our blue, red, or clear piping, we need to get that insulated so it won't freeze.
Got it. Okay, so just in summary, cover your faucets outside.
Cover your faucets.
Keep the temperature at 55 to 60 degrees minimum. Check to see if you have water lines in the attic and make sure they're insulated.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So anything else? Any other recommendations? I've heard keep the water dripping.
Keeping the water dripping will help.
Okay. Do you have to do that in every faucet, or is it just in one part of the house?
Well, I would tell you it's more important if we have a kitchen or a bathroom that's near the exterior wall of the home.
Okay.
If you guys have a powder bathroom in the center of the home, it's not likely that that's going to need to be continuing to have water flow. But if we have a kitchen sink that's mounted on our exterior wall, chances are the water lines are going up through that exterior wall. So they're going to be a little bit colder in that wall cavity than the house actually is inside.
So if I'm hearing you right, if you have a plumbing fixture that's located on an exterior wall, those are the plumbing fixtures you want to keep dripping.
Yes,
Cool.
that will be more subject to freeze.
Great, awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for watching this video, Real Estate Blog. We're going to share Jeff Thorp's information here if you want to get a pre-inspection on your home and you're thinking about selling it and you want to make sure you prevent any potential deal killers once you get a buyer. And then if you're thinking about buying a house, well, again, we'll have Jeff's information on the blog post, and you can reach out to Jeff and talk to him about getting an inspection on any home you're interested in buying. We've also had you help us on new construction homes, which is really good as well, helping make sure that the builder is doing what they need to do to follow code changes and make sure you build a good quality home. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more educational videos to come.